Dude, you get the best barrels ever, dude. Just like you pull in and you just get spit right out of them. And you just drop in and just smack the lip. Whoop-ah! Drop down, snap, and then after that, you just drop in, you just ride the barrel and get pitted. So pitted like that.
That guy was my neighbor for a little while.
Oh my God. He was your neighbor?
He was my neighbor. He lived in the neighborhood.
Oh, dear.
And I had no idea.
You didn't know about that video?
I didn't know about that video at all.
Oh my God.
Until after, and then one of my neighbors came up. He's like, hey, you know you live next to the pitted guy? And I'm like, what's pitted? And it is the most like viral thing before viral was
Yeah, it was like one of the
happening.
first YouTube videos to get like huge.
Humongous.
I love it.
Hilarious.
He talks like that guy. Do you remember the other viral video of a guy who was on the news and he was a homeless guy that saved someone else? And he's like, bam, I hit him on the head.
Well, that's kind of great.
What other stuff was like pre-viral? I mean, obviously Chocolate Rain Kid, right? Was like pre-viral.
That was viral. I remember there was one where like this dude took acid and was like in his room, like locked in his closet.
Oh,
but then someone
yes.
made like a gecko video.
Mr. Balloon Hands.
Yeah, fucking
Mr. Balloons for hands.
No.
Yeah, it was
Seahorses rule.
See the fucking seahorses she sells. She sells she fucking seahorses. It's
Mr. Walkway, Mr. Walking down the walkway. Show me to the building. Fuck you.
it's amazing. Fiddly spinks, fiddly winks. Like he says all this shit in the middle of it. It's amazing.
Well, you know what else is amazing, boys?
One, 2 and freeze, don't nobody move. 1, 2 and freeze, don't nobody move. 1, 2 and freeze, don't nobody move. Don't nobody move. Don't nobody move. 1, 2 and freeze.
And welcome back to another episode of Chill Regular, everybody. My name is Jonesy, and with me is Sean, Matt, and David.
Yo.
Here's the thing. Every time you do that, I always think you forget David's name, which is why there's such a long process.
And that guy.
The guy next to me. He's here.
D-Man.
He's the new one to the group. We'll get your name down soon enough, I promise.
Devin, Drake, no.
Vin Diesel.
Diesel, no.
No, David, I know your name, and I'm grateful that you're here every single week besides last week.
It's hard having such a unique name.
Well, it's true. It is we all have very unique names. Sean, Matt, David, and Gary.
Why did you just shit on your own name?
Because I feel like my name is
He's just trying to
not
make
that
Denzel feel
exciting.
better.
It's not. My name is not that exciting at all whatsoever.
What does your name mean?
What? Matt and
This is
Sean
actually a really
are
funny
fucking-
story.
My name is fantastic.
I
Fuck
doubt
you.
it.
Do you guys know what your name means, though?
Yes.
Like, what's
Yeah,
the
it's biblical for shut the fuck up.
Oh my God. Matt is biblical for shut the fuck up.
Congratulations.
Then your parents
It's
named
education.
you appropriately.
I know.
That's going to be the name of the episode.
Yeah. It has to be, right? Well, Sean, what does your name actually mean?
Gift from God. Gift from God. If I could speak, gift from God.
Oh, interesting.
Can confirm.
So God was like, you know what? Here's a gift, and we're going to name it as Sean.
Yeah, well, it's a derivative of John. And I don't know if it carries the same meaning as
I don't know
John.
why you're looking at me like I know this answer.
You look like
it's more
somebody that would know.
You're more like a thinking post. I'm staring at you while I
Okay,
think.
thank you.
It's because you're wearing that getup over there. You just look more
Looking at you,
articulate in what you're wearing.
You're
than we
dressed
all
so
do.
smart. I feel smarter looking at you, so I'm checking you out while I'm thinking.
I understand.
You're getting my brain dick harder.
Well, you know why it's fucking you up? Because he's wearing
okay with
Birkenstocks.
Yeah, all right.
That's why it's fucking
I
you up.
don't know what Birkenstocks are. Someone else told me that.
That's what those sandals are, bro.
Oh my God, we're sandal buddies today.
What? I don't know.
I'm
Okay,
wearing
you can
sandals,
point at them.
too.
Doesn't mean I know what the fuck a Birkenstock is. It sounds like some
I'm
kind of
pointing
stupid
at them and
German
saying
thing.
Birkenstock. This is how you learn language.
You want to know what that is?
Birkenstock.
Pointing at your feet. That thing on your foot.
Right. I get that
Is
this
a
style is a
Birkenstock.
Birkenstock. I've never
No, it's not
heard
a
of them.
style.
It's just
Oh, it's a
Brand.
company?
Yeah.
Yes.
Congratulations. Still don't care.
I haven't heard that word since the late 90s, Birkenstocks.
I actually asked my wife, I said, you know what I kind of want? Some Birkenstocks. That's how you know I'm
I think
getting older.
they got replaced with Crocs.
Did they?
Yeah.
I roll
Oh, boy.
Rockports.
What?
Rockports.
I don't even know what those are.
Shoe company.
I love rainbows. I love rainbows, and then I hate, though, breaking rainbows in. Rainbow
don't know
sandals?
Oh,
what
I thought you were just talking about rainbows.
I
like
love rainbows.
The
What
weather
does it
phenomenon.
mean? What does it mean?
I didn't think you were talking about footwear anymore. I thought you were just gone off on your own.
My
thing.
Little Pony over here. I love rainbow.
Like, you know what?
you guys.
I like flowers and pretty things.
Well, take it easy there, God's gift. Matt, what is your name?
I have no idea. I've never been narcissistic enough to look it up.
Oh, I
Sorry,
call
Sean.
bullshit.
I've never cared.
No,
enough.
it's cool. You don't have to say sorry. I'm totally narcissistic enough
I
to
love
look
it.
it
I
up.
love the honesty. I've never looked it up. I know it's in the Bible. You know, there's a whole fucking, I think Matthew wrote a book on it. I've just never cared to look up what my name means. I think my name means me, and I'm better than every other Matthew. So that's the end of that discussion.
I didn't bring my phone in.
All right. Well, we're going to look it up and we'll come
I'll
back
look
to
it up right
Thank
now,
you.
you
David, what is
What
your
about
name?
what about David?
So David means beloved of God, but in Hawaii, my family calls me Kavika, and Kavika doesn't have a cool, like Hawaiian names have cool meanings. They're like American Indian names where it means like a sentence, but they couldn't pronounce David because they had the Bible. So they said Kavika. And so I don't have a cool like Hawaiian meaning.
Oh,
So
I
you're
just
really
means
lost
nothing?
that story. I like,
yeah. So wait a minute. Your name means something,
Sentence?
but you don't know.
no, your name means a sentence.
No, it means beloved.
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 That's
Okay.
all we were asking.
That's
What
cool.
was with this
Yeah.
matrix
What about your middle name?
Well, Jeremiah. I don't actually know what Jeremiah means.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought that sentence was gonna be. I actually don't know what my middle name is. I got really excited.
Homer J.
All right.
Simpson.
What about Gary?
My name means spear warrior. And
No. What does it really mean?
look it up. I swear to God, my name means spear warrior. And it is a weird thing for me because I'm pretty sure nobody ever in the history of battle ever yelled, "Bring the Garys!" No one ever said that. Ever.
I bet one dude did, and then he was immediately
way,
killed.
dude.
And nobody
Well,
ever
next
called him
time.
like,
This fucking dude. You're like, no, don't bring the Garys anymore. Leave them at home. Just leave
Where's
them.
I
the,
honestly
what's the
think-
national origin of Gary? Is it British or?
I think it's Roman.
So here's the thing. I just looked up what my name means. And so this is weird. And now I'm uncomfortable because it also means gift of God.
I thought so. No, is it
What?
gift of? Because a gift from.
course
gift
they sit on the
of.
same
mine
side
is
of the table.
Mine is gift of God. Yours is gift
So
from
maybe
God.
it's more like you are a part of God that is being gifted to others,
I'm,
rather than here's
can-
a thing
yeah,
for
I
you.
can see that being true,
Here's a
for
part
sure.
of me.
yeah, like I represent God.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
That's really sweet.
I know.
I thought it was something similar. So we're all biblical, and you just play with your stick.
I got spears, bro. I'm just
I
saying.
got spears.
I got spears. That's a new song.
No, it's not.
No, damn it.
Nope.
I was gonna go for it, but
No,
then
let's
you guys
not
shut
do
it
that
down
again.
really
No,
fast.
we're not gonna let that
Sorry,
happen.
listeners. You guys almost got a real song just happening, and they shut
Got a
it
real
down.
bad song.
Yeah.
What about your middle name?
So my middle name is fucking fantastic, and there's a kind of a story to it. So here we go.
Oh, I'm so excited now.
My middle name is my dad's name. Okay. To preface this, my dad, when he came up to my college and my friends met him, he told him his full name. From that point on, they called him the commander of the British Royal Navy. They would salute him when he would walk into our house whenever he visited, and they would yell, "Commander!" Like, and they would pretend to be British. So my dad's name is Gallatin Commodore Brian.
Wow.
Yeah, so that you say, I have to
Yeah.
salute you. Like, what is this?
Oh yeah.
So my name is Matthew Gallatin. So that's my middle name. It's a very awkward middle name, but I love it because
Fucking
Good strong name though.
gallant.
I used to use that on dates. They'd be like, "What's your middle name?" I was like, "Fucking guess." And if you can't get it right, you know what you got to do.
Do you know what it means though?
So that actually,
Probably gallant.
no. So my dad told me the story that his parents. There is a town I think in Tennessee called Gallatin, spelled Gallatin. But they named him phonetically. So his name is spelled Galinton instead of like the actual city. So it was like just a mix up. Also, funny story, I just learned this over Thanksgiving. My dad apparently, so his two brothers older than him, they're 15 years older, 17 years older. They've passed since. But when he was born and my mom or his mom went to the doctor, she thought it was a tumor.
It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor.
And so she went in. She's like, "Can you please examine this?" Like, "I think I have a tumor." And they're like, "No, you have a child." And she
Some
said,
kind of
"Same
tumor, I
thing."
guess.
It's not a tumor.
Not a tumor.
Get
But
to the
that's
chopper.
the history of my father being born. Which I mean, he has a ton. I heard so many hilarious stories from like when he was growing up this Thanksgiving. So it was a very fun educational Thanksgiving for me. I don't know if everyone had the same.
Well,
Perfect segue. You're
yeah.
fucking welcome.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. We survived. I like to think during the holidays. I don't know how it is for you guys, but I survived. I survived the holiday.
That's how you view it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, very, very, very sad. How'd you guys do?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I think our family met up kind of later than we normally do. So there wasn't the usual family squabble that happens in the thick of it. That got out of the way beforehand,
Nice.
and it was pretty cool. Yeah, it actually was pretty peaceful once I got there.
Are you three? Is everyone family local?
No, my family's in Hemet, out in the desert.
My family's not local at all.
I mean, like in California. No.
Oh yes, yeah, totally.
I say you like on the desert. I was like, I feel like that's still part of California.
Well, California is a desert, but it's like
It's a coastal desert.
like the dirt desert,
Dirt desert.
not the water desert.
Dave, are you?
Yeah, my family's local. Mine was a little awkward because my
All right, getting into it. Here we go.
Yeah, hopefully they listen.
yeah, it's not super exciting. My girlfriend came over for the first time to Thanksgiving, and my mom ignored her the whole time.
How? Wait, what kind
She
of
won't hear
power
this,
move
so
is
it's
this? What kind of power move is that?
I don't know.
Does she? Wait, has she ever done that to previous girlfriends, partners?
She can be rude sometimes.
Like just like not give her
I don't
any
know what she
attention.
does.
That's
or-
interesting.
I don't know what she doesn't like. I think
Did she just like look past her, like look through her, like if your girlfriend said anything,
she ate next to her but didn't say anything, and never asked a question, never offered her anything.
It's because all your mom's doing is sitting there realizing, like, this lady fucks my son.
Yeah,
This one's fucking my little boy, and she is going to take my job. She's going to take my job. I'm not going to be able to do anything.
Wait, that's a weird job to.
I know it's a weird juxtaposition. My job of being a mom, my job of like taking
Okay.
care of my son.
Phrasing. That's
Thank
all.
you. Sorry. My bad. What's funny is, we all know that I've been with my wife since forever, since I was like 16. I wasn't married to her when I was 16, but we've been together since we were 16. And for the longest time, my grandmother also very much just kind of ignored her.
Just nope.
But now she's better.
Yeah, now she's better.
I think she'll win her over.
Of course.
She's got to like give her a hard time at first.
Yeah.
That's how
What's
my
the, is
most
that
of my
your
family
family
is.
nationality?
Yeah.
What's your ethnicity?
Establishing dominance.
My mom's Hawaiian.
Hawaiian.
But
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
mean,
if that has anything to do with it. Usually they're welcoming.
Yeah, but I think it's different for like the mom and the girlfriend, right? Because it's like
Establishing dominance.
right. Because my grandmother's
yeah.
Mexican, and so bringing in somebody that's supposed to like take care of me in the way that the culture does.
In my family, well, my mom's side of the family, they're Allos is the last name, and we call it the Allo curse. All the girls feud with each other constantly.
Oh, do they?
So that's
They're all
what
just
she's coming.
jealous of
That's what
each
she's
other?
getting into. Yeah.
Poor thing. That poor thing.
We have the
Like,
same
did
name
she
in my
have to just
family.
no
walk
idea.
in next Thanksgiving and just smack your mother with a turkey and be like, "My house"? Like,
Listen to
And then
me.
they'll be friends
Last
after
year
that.
was
They'll be
fucking
friends after
dry,
that? That's great.
Mom. Well, how did she handle it? How did your girl handle it?
So my mom used to, when she saw her, she used to just turn around and walk away. And so just being ignored, my girlfriend actually said, that's an improvement.
what is
Damn, dude.
How can you meet somebody?
man.
Your like child is like,
This is
hey,
an upgrade.
I want to be with them and be like,
I like this
hard pass.
person.
What?
Yeah.
No, here's the thing. To that point, my father-in-law, long time now I've been with my wife, married her, everything like that. That dude hates me still.
Obviously.
Reasonable.
Yeah,
Absolutely
totally.
reasonable, right?
I could see it.
Although it wasn't until maybe 6-7 months ago when he started realizing that I started making more money than he was. That he was like, okay, maybe this
Slap
dumb shit
that dick on
actually maybe this dumb shit actually has something about him. And he called her up last week just to be like, how's Gary doing? I was like, what? This guy.
Can I go back to hating him yet? Did he lose yet?
Is he fucked up again? Because this feels weird to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So-
I'd like to
he's
go
coming
back
around.
to my wheelhouse if I can, but I mean, if he's succeeding, I guess it's a win.
I guess you got a good one.
At this point, actually, now he has
wrong.
no choice but to be positive because no matter what happens, it's a win-win.
Right.
If you succeed, his daughter's better taken care of. If
Exactly.
you fail, he gets to go back to being happily hating you.
Exactly. That's why he's going to live to 110. That's why he's
And it's all because of you, Gary.
What are
All
you
because of
talking
you. You
about?
hear
Thank
that, Mr. Gary's father-in-law?
Nailed it.
Your happiness
Fucking
and health
nailed it.
is thanks to him.
You're welcome.
My family has a similar method of dealing with new women being brought around, mostly by accepting them as if they're their own children. And this kind of works the same way, but in the opposite fashion. You just don't bring around ones you're not positive you want to keep because they will bring them back around long after the
Are they
relationship ends.
fucking hamsters? What do you mean? You don't want to bring ones you don't want to keep?
Well, you never know. Like you don't just like.
We found this one in the wild. It's not.
I
really our
stopped
fit. We're
bringing
gonna let it
around
go.
new girls like a long long time ago. I don't bring around women who I'm like, yeah, I've been with her for a couple of months. It's working out okay. No, it's like, I might marry this woman. Now I can bring her around, because if I do otherwise, they will keep her even if I don't.
Nice.
I mean, this is true for all of my siblings, boys, girls, doesn't matter. They will just keep people.
That's trippy.
So if you don't want them in your life, for sure, don't bring them around.
Wait a minute. Are you the only one who's polyamorous in your family?
I can't verify that.
How the fuck do you not know? It's your family.
I can't. Well, I mean, I'm the only one who's really open about myself.
Right. So no one's gotten drunk and been like, bro, I'm the same. We are one.
No, I'm pretty sure everybody in my family suffers from extreme jealousy issues.
What happened to you? How are you like, I broke it?
I happen to be probably one of the most enlightened people in my family.
Humble brag.
Gift from God. Gift from
God. Well, actually, my middle name, Michael, means who is like God.
A gift from
So-
God who
Who's
is like
kinda
God.
like
And what
God?
does Barnhill mean? From
Fucking
the barn.
Yeah, it's a place where you keep animals on a hill.
So the manger.
Yeah.
Nice. It
Oh my-
makes
I never put that
sense.
together.
You're welcome.
You're
Thank you for
basically you're the night of Christmas.
nailed it, Gary.
No.
You should go on the road with that routine.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I'm imagining family get-togethers. A bunch of your exes could be there.
It's happened.
Has it really?
Yes.
Was it awkward?
Yes. Yeah.
You said yes so fast.
Yeah. Well, because I've had to live it. and it's funny too, because then they all get to know each other.
And they compare notes and
Oh my God, dude! I went to.
are they like just like, look how this
and
doesn't he do this thing?
I'm still
He does
friends.
this thing,
I'm still
doesn't
friends
he?
with some of the
So
with some of the
does
women
this
I've
thing.
dated in my life. You know, and
That's
I'm pretty.
unfortunate.
I'm a pretty reasonable person like that. And I got invited to a wedding for one of them. Somebody I dated when I was much younger. You know, we're still very close friends. And I went to this wedding, and I started looking around, and I see a bunch of the people there are women that I've dated. And my sister,
Are you sure this wasn't a setup?
hilariously,
This sounds like a fucking movie.
Nope. This is my life. My sister hilariously, I should correct myself. My brother now hilariously goes, "How many women here have you fucked?"
Nice.
And I'm just like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm like, I don't.
Really? That's the one thing
like-
you don't want to
I'm
talk
like,
about?
no,
You
no,
should've-
I
you
didn't want to
should've
talk
stood
about
up
it.
and been like, you.
Nice, nice. You could have showered.
You,
nice,
the
nice.
Yeah. Like.
yeah, who have you fucked and ranked them?
Yeah. See, well, no, I didn't. The reason why I didn't want to talk about it was because I knew how it would go if I started bringing it up.
You don't know that.
And literally, the next woman who walked by, my brother looks and goes, "Have you slept with my brother?"
And I'm
just like,
Congratulations.
And I'm just like, I want to fucking die right now. Because I was just trying to be chill and get through it.
What are they
Super
going to do?
awkward.
Kill you? I'm walking around with
Maybe.
a.
Some of those women are exes for reasons.
Well, I don't know, man. I'd walk around just being like, yeah, what up, girl?
I mean, you guys are friends. And she's
Everybody,
like,
meet
did
me
you
in the
sleep with
kitchen.
him?
That
You're
one
like,
was totally cool. Had no problem with that. It was some of the other women who were there.
Oh, you pussy. Fucking face your fears. Okay, you walk up
I
and
was
say,
a very
hey.
different person then too. I probably would.
I mean, that's what happens when we get older. We start giving less fucks.
It's like, if you killed me right about now,
I'd be okay with it.
yeah,
I've lived a life.
I've got arthritis.
Oh, no, you don't.
Oh, I do.
Oh, man.
I so do. It's so bad.
So we
I
veered
saw a
off topic
picture of it.
horrendously.
Saw a picture.
You saw a
of it.
picture of your arthritis?
Yes,
This
it's
is how
like
old we're
weird,
all
like
getting?
What?
calcification shit in my joints. Yeah, it's really nasty.
Gotta love getting older, boys.
Chill
Gotta
regular
love
or
things.
just like chill senior? Because what's happening?
Chill regular, as long as there's some ibuprofen.
Thank you for asking, Gary. Yes, I actually had a very fun Thanksgiving.
Good.
It was really good. My family didn't do turkey or
Yeah.
ham or the traditional meals. We actually did like ribeye,
Yeah, dude.
like a huge
all right.
ribeye roast.
That's the American.
Fucking best ever. And then we had that early in the day. So by the time I come home, my wonderful roommate Zen had deep fried a turkey that was his best deep fry fucking ever.
Deep frying
Thanks for the
turkey
invite.
is the fucking way to go.
Oh my god.
Thank you for the invite, Zed.
You were
He
with your
said
family,
he sent out
fucknut.
invites
didn't
and that
hear
nobody responded. So
Rude.
it was so fucking good.
Was it?
Also, if
Oh my God.
anybody has hilarious, awkward wedding stories and or Thanksgiving stories, post them.
Oh
I'd
yes.
love to hear them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Those will be good.
And then Rain actually made an apple.
Who do you fucking live with? Mortal Kombat?
Caramel.
You got Zen and Rain. Like, is Melina there too?
Fight.
I'm gonna make sure they listen to this part because they're gonna love that. They're gonna love that.
Fucking Liu Kang coming out.
Yeah.
Just think about when they get into a scuffle at the house. He's just like flawless victory,
Fatality.
I would move in just to watch that.
just to watch, right?
Just sit in the corner and be like, let's let it begin.
I've heard about some of them. I want to watch from a distance with like plexiglass and all that stuff in the way.
I refuse to comment.
Yeah.
So, Rain made an amazing apple caramel pie.
Ooh.
It was probably the tastiest thing I've eaten all year. It was
Nice.
amazing.
All right. Yeah,
I'm going to ask for it for my birthday.
Okay.
Like, that's how good it was.
That's how good it was. Yeah, I don't do turkeys. I've done one Thanksgiving meal I cooked on my own, just one, and it was horrible. Absolutely horrible. Not necessarily from a food standpoint. It was delicious, but it was horrible to make. I didn't realize do you guys realize how much effort your parents put into actually making Thanksgiving dinner for everybody?
No.
Dude,
Yes.
until you actually start cooking that Thanksgiving dinner yourself, you don't realize the amount of energy that goes into making
That's why
Thanksgiving
you
dinner.
deep fry the turkey now. It's fucking delicious.
You know what? Here's the thing.
You could do
Not
that.
less work.
It's not.
It's more.
No, bullshit. I just did it over Thanksgiving. Once again, thank you for asking, Gary. My Thanksgiving was great. God damn it.
Oh, you were being sarcastic. You didn't get to answer.
No, I
Shit.
haven't answered, you numbnuts.
Hey,
Well, we don't want to know,
whoa,
actually.
whoa,
We heard
whoa,
about your dad
whoa,
already. We heard he's
whoa,
wonderful. We're
whoa.
moving on.
Matt,
Wow.
how was your Thanksgiving, man?
Thank you for asking, Sean. It's very kind of you. It was delightful. I live in the Midwest, so we flew, and airports still suck. People suck in the airports. The airplanes are fine. Like they clean
COVID
them.
coaches?
Yes, basically.
Why are you even in this room right now?
Because I got tested when I got back.
Are you
No, I'm
lying?
just kidding.
I have the results to prove it.
All right, good.
We can go on Mari, motherfucker. But I love flying to the Midwest. I love my hometown. I love Indiana. But it's the perfect amount of time when I go there because it gets super cold. Like it'll start dropping down to like low 30s by the time I leave. And I'm like, yes, I remember why I moved out west. This is fantastic. And then I just fly. But, Thanksgiving is great. My girlfriend came with me and we ate a shit ton. Every time we go to Indy, we fucking eat everything.
Yeah, you come back heavy.
I feel like a piece of shit when I come back. I'm just
nice.
like bloaty. There's body dysmorphia for sure. I'm looking at myself like, you look like that fucking like clown mirror. It's like, you disgusting human.
fat
And then I just
son of
shame myself to like go lift weights again. That's kind of how it goes.
Nice. What's your favorite thing?
Everybody's got a method. You know?
Thank you.
Does anybody have like a favorite thing you look forward to for Thanksgiving dinner?
Oh,
Drinking.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. My dad has a fucking liquor cabinet of everything. And I just go through. It's like, what? It's like Willy Wonka. I'm like, what are we going to find today?
Come with me and you'll be in a
sea
world
of fucking whiskey. And so that's like one of my favorite things. I love family time, but drinking mostly.
I wish I could drink with my family. I don't know. I just always feel weird about getting drunk around them. Yeah, I don't like getting drunk around my family. I
is
think it's just
interesting.
the way that I grew up with them has just been a little off when alcohol gets involved. I'm just like, that's awkward. I'm not going to do that.
Does that you guys have the same reaction?
no.
No, I don't drink too much. I just drink a bit in front of my family. What I look forward to on Thanksgiving is the chaos that usually ensues, but we couldn't get that many people together this year.
To let
Yeah.
more chaos
Just
happen.
chaos, yeah.
What do you mean chaos?
The girls are fighting and ignoring each
We
other
just
and doing
talked about
passive aggressive
chaos.
things and gossiping.
God, yes,
The guys are bringing up
passive-aggressive.
politics and so people are trying to cook in all areas of the kitchen and the outside and the barbecue and deep frying and just it's chaos.
I used to love
And
it.
the kids are running around.
I just had a panic attack internally. Like just hearing you talk about that, it's just like
I used to love the chaos. I think I used to love the chaos.
you
of
are
the-
fucking chaos.
Yes. I'm actually not, in all honesty.
You're controlled chaos. How about that?
Maybe. Maybe. I think growing up for me, like Thanksgiving holiday season, this time of year was just, there was a lot of yelling. There was a lot of people, my aunts. I grew up in a house of 12 people. So like,
Well, I mean, all these people have been stuck in a house mostly. Like,
Oh, makes it even worse.
not interacting with as many people as they usually do. So they're probably out of practice, right?
maybe.
Start slapping
Well, this
each
year
other
it was
like,
just
"Hello."
it was just me, my brother, my wife, and then his two twin kids. His baby mama let him watch the kids for the weekend, so we got to hang out with my niece and
Nice.
nephew for the first time, like just by ourselves, really kind of getting to know those kids. They're great kids.
Other people's babies are awesome.
They really are, because then we can leave.
Yeah.
He was
Wind
stuck
them
with
up
them
and
at the
go.
end. Have fun.
Okay.
Little footsteps of you guys running away.
Yeah.
I love it.
I have kind of, unless anyone else wants to continue with that, I do have a question.
I just like the bell and the guy who goes round one.
Fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes,
That's my favorite part.
I like that. I accept that. I don't know why I said I accept that. That was really awkward. I
No, it's
apologize.
okay. I was looking for your approval,
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
This is my moment.
but I got it. I'm good now.
Obviously, David, you are exempt from this because you have a spawn. So,
He's not exempt. I want to know an honest opinion.
Sean, you don't have kids, do you?
Yeah.
You do have a kid?
Yep.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Okay, so it's just Gary and I. Like, do you find it weird, like when you like see friends or stuff like that have kids? Like, do you ever have that feeling of like, oh fuck, am I not like, what am I doing?
Yes, I do. And then all I need to be in a room with them for an hour and be like, oh, thank God I'm making this decision
You're
in
like,
my
oh,
life.
that's what I'm doing.
That's what I'm doing, and thank you, Jesus. We went to a house party. It was all COVID safe. Everybody was social distancing and wearing masks or whatever. And basically,
Why'd you make the hand jerk?
I was like, you're trying to
masks
say
or
I'm
whatever.
talking about it. You're like,
It's like the only thing you didn't do is nod and toss a wink, if you know what I mean.
if you know what I mean. Anyway,
Masks don't count if they have a hole in the middle.
that's true. That is true. So basically, we went to this party and we saw a bunch of friends of ours that just recently had kids. They're on their like second, kid after their first one. And a lot of their kids are between the ages of 1 and 3. So pretty quickly. And what I was realizing was when we first hung out with them, these people were like drinking buddies. We would go down to Long Beach. We would get a party bus. We would just go off the chain, right? And then they had their first kid, and then they're just like super anxious people. They're just trying figuring it out. They're just like, Jesus Christ, oh my God, you know what I mean? They're just full of excitement and joy and all the things that come with actually having a first kid, right? And then now they're on their second kid, and I just saw them like 3 years, and they look like they just come back from war. They're just
I thought that was gonna go a different route.
They're just battle-hardened people, and they're just like, yeah, I've been through some shit, man.
fucking smoking
I had to
cigarettes.
fucking wipe a fucking diaper twice a day. It's just, you know what? And I was eating burrito while I was
In the
doing
trenches.
it. Seriously, I was eating a burrito while I was doing it, man. You know what I mean? I had one in one arm, I had a dookie in the other arm, and my husband was giving me a burrito in the mouth, and I was like, this is sexy.
Wow.
This is getting really good.
So do either of you have, is it just one for both of you guys, by the way?
Yeah, and my son actually lives in Northern Cali with his mom.
Okay, okay. You just have the one?
Yeah, just one. The first year is hell. Like,
Yeah, because you don't fucking sleep.
yeah, you don't sleep
Yeah.
and you're learning everything on the go. The first year you're a zombie.
Is there like any joy? Like, is the idea of
Yes,
like looking down and being
absolutely.
like, this is mine?
Yep.
Of course you're going to
Yeah.
say that. You can't fucking throw it away now. You got to just deal with it, don't you?
Some people just poop them out and just like, nope.
Well, I don't know, man. If you're going to choose to keep it, I mean, you got to find some joy in the, masochism, I suppose.
There's a reason why babies, you find them cute. The trouble that they are, you would not keep them. You would figure something else out. If they were not so cute and you had a chemical reaction to them being yours.
Born, being there.
It's almost like a lizard brain thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why their eyeballs are so big.
Yeah,
To make them more adorable.
They're the most inconvenient thing ever. So on some level,
Yeah, it poops.
They're
You're so easy.
but goddamn, are they inconvenient?
you'd have to have like another balance to balance that out.
I mean, yeah, if that was like a dog you just adopted, you'd have been like, you're fucking going back. But like, it's birth, you're like, fuck. Okay, well,
Sorry, buddy. You got 10 days.
guess we can duct tape you to the wall. I don't know.
Well, you know what's interesting? I'm curious from you guys. Did you guys actually plan having your kids? Or was it just something that happened and it's something that you kind of had to deal with on the
$1
fly?
million question.
It just kind of happened, but I think I was like ready for it at that point in my life.
How old is your son?
He will be 14 this month.
Fucking A. All right. Just getting into the pubes.
How old were you when you had your kid?
14 years younger than I am now.
They were not. I thought that was going to be the answer. Yeah.
How old am
I had when I was 14.
Born
I was
in
like,
82.
really, I was uncomfortable. I was like, wait,
I wasn't
what?
ready.
I am
ready for all that.
38, so I must have been
24.
24, 23, 24.
So you mean, motherfucker, fuck you. You mean to tell me that you were like, you know what, I'm ready to be a dad at 23 years old? Enough
I came from
life.
a big family. I was used to taking care of babies.
Sure.
And I was
You were just
with
like,
somebody-
I'm ready to be a dad and ruin my life.
I was
for the
with
rest
somebody
of
who I
for at
truly
least 18
believed
years.
was the person that I wanted to do that with.
Was this monogamy, by the way?
Yeah, at that time. Yeah.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we found it.
And
The moment.
the
John was like, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore.
no, it wasn't a panic thing. I think it
No,
was
it's really
always.
like, this just doesn't work for me. Was that kind of the genesis?
I didn't know. No, it wasn't until much later. Things didn't work out between my son's mother and I, and it was that was a team effort for sure. And,
Sure.
I went on to date other people after that, and I just kind of started to, not really be comfortable being monogamous. And then after a while, I just kind of decided that anyone else I'm going to be with is just going to have to be okay with me having that kind of lifestyle, or be and most likely be one of those types themselves, and then I'll be better off. And
So here's the thing. Like, I laugh in really awkward moments, not because like,
oh no, it doesn't bother me a bit.
No,
Don't
it
worry.
was just like, it was the sentence that really just caught me off guard because you're like, and I didn't want to be monogamous. Like, it was just the timing
just-
of everything. It was just the
And-
execution.
I mean, I'm trying to boil it
made
down.
me giggle. And in my head, I'm like, eventually, I think there's going to come a podcast, one point or another, where somebody's going to say something to one of us, and the other person's going to fucking snap and dive across the table. Fucking beat ass. But it brought me even more joy knowing that the other two would probably be like, anyway. And just keep going. Oh, I had a lot go through my
You
head.
just hear the clatter in the background, the shit flying across the room, and like
Yeah, just being the normal. normal
This
Gary,
is all happening.
probably you and me, and Gary and Dave will be like, so how was your
we had a really
insert
good
holiday
time.
here? How was your Easter?
So next time,
Bullshit. They
next
would
time
be
we'll
like,
have
who's going to win? They would
next
put
time we'll
fucking
have 4
bets on it.
cages,
Yeah,
so we can just say anything.
just it.
David would be sketching the event.
Yes, I would love to
It's
see
just
that.
like one
Like a
scribble
courtroom.
ball. It's like
Yes.
one scribble ball with the arm and a leg just sticking out of it.
Hold on now, but now we got to move to David, and I don't know if he wants to be in the spotlight for this.
David.
Oh, sure, go ahead. I'm an open book.
No, it's going to move to you. Like, how were you?
Oh, yeah.
Were you
was it
prepared?
planned?
Yeah, I was ready for
parent
mine. When-
planhood? Like,
You're never really ready.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I was
no
in
matter
my-
how prepared
I was
you
in my
think you
early
are.
30s. I get along with kids. I was babysat when
Yeah.
I was younger. But then we get along, me and kids. But I knew when the first time I heard a girlfriend say something about having kids or getting married, I freaked out in my head, and I'm like, this
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
gonna, this
No,
isn't
the
gonna happen
panic
for a
sets
long
in.
time. Like probably after 30, and it was after 30, and I was like, okay, it's been long enough.
It was about that time.
Okay.
now.
Yeah,
How
no,
old were
for
you
me-
when you had your kid?
But then like the marriage didn't work out, so but
Jesus Christ, I'm learning so much about you dudes. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
So how old were you?
Yeah. Anyway,
The audience is learning a lot about us too.
Yeah. This
is
Hopefully
true.
that's mildly enjoyable for all of you guys out there.
oh,
in
they
the
fucking
internet
love it.
space.
They're like, look at these asshats.
I think I was married about 30 or 29, and then had a kid about 31 or 32.
Okay, and how old's your kid now?
8.
8. Damn.
And then wait, how long afterwards until the separation?
That was like 2 years ago, a little over 2 years.
Oh
ago.
shit, this is recent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha. So did you guys like I'm beginning to get a little personal. I apologize, and not so much apology. Did you guys end up like seeing issues starting to happen, and then you guys like, oh, maybe a kid will fix it?
Oh, that's a fucking great question. Nice.
I
Oh
mean,
man.
There probably was there. I do see. I know that it's one of those things where you watch it happening and it happens, but you can't stop it. It's going. So it's like
Train wreck.
so
it's just on its path.
So you do on some level because you're already on this path to the inevitable, and so you're like, well, maybe this next thing will fix it. Maybe this next thing will help fix things. But you also know that's severely illogical.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's. I mean, there's a large part of me
Because you are a large
because I'm
part.
a large part. There's a large part of me that was a little worried, thinking like, my wife and I, we were talking about for a long time having kids. And then we were like, okay, well, we're young, we're finishing our master's degrees and our doctorates. And we'll just, after we're done with these, then we'll start talking seriously about having children. And then my wife, because she's a planner, she puts everything in her calendar. She was like, okay, on this date, 3 years from now, we'll start talking about, do we want kids? And we did that for we did it twice. So it was like 6 year.
So like when she brought it up, were you like, oh fuck, I completely forgot? Like was that a moment?
No. I mean, doing that type of stuff is very in my brain. Mainly because, again, I grew up like you, Sean. You know my family. I grew up in a very large family with a lot of people, a lot of kids. My mom ran a daycare, basically, so kids are always in and out of my life. And I felt like, especially growing up Hispanic, it's you find
Super family oriented.
super family oriented. You have and if you don't have a kid, my
part of the
parents were
culture.
asking. My parents were asking me to have kids by when we were 17 years old.
I mean, that's a very cultural thing though, too, isn't it? Like, that
100%.
is just like
100%.
have kids young, like because you get older, you're not.
The
gonna
only
do it.
reason why my wife and I really didn't end up having kids when we were so young, first and foremost, I'm pretty sure that my nuts don't work because my pullout game's not that good. So she did not get pregnant at all through high school.
Well, that's because you need to stop doing anal. That's,
She doesn't even like anal. I'm just saying she does. Honey,
which
you
makes
don't.
sense because you don't like booty either. So there's that.
Well,
Well, and for one, also, you have to put yours in her, not the other way around.
well,
So maybe that's why.
Dick jokes.
Maybe. Yeah, it tickled a little bit.
Oh my God.
So again, there was probably so many moments we could have gotten pregnant and we never did. So my stuff probably doesn't work anyway. But my mom literally told me this. My mom goes, "Mijo, look, if you get pregnant, just keep it. I will love to raise it."
Wow.
This is how Mexican my mom is.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
That was a sentence? That was a real sentence?
Real sentence.
That's fucking fantastic.
I mean, and
Wow.
love my mom. You know, she's very generous, very giving. She's a great adolescent mom. You know what I mean? Like toddlers, infant mom. You know, and so it was always in my brain. It was always in the brain of like, okay, well, you know, when we get old, we're gonna have kids. So that's what we got to do. You know, we're gonna get married. We're gonna fucking have kids. And then we got to that point of having a conversation, and we were just like, fuck no.
Hard pass.
100%. And every time that, like, you know, 3 years down, she's like, okay, well, let's check 3 years from now. Beep, 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 ba-da-ba, boop. And then all of a sudden we're sitting on the couch and her phone just goes, and she looks at her phone. She goes, oh no. It's the conversation.
Does it feel like 3 years every time, or does it feel like
it feels like it
6
went by-
months
Yeah,
past?
exactly.
Yeah.
It goes by
That is
so
a
fast.
real phenomenon, by the way. That is
Dude.
a crazy thing. Like I think it happens once you hit 30, that fucking years
Time
just
fly. Dude, I turned 35 on Friday.
Cool story.
Thank you. And I'm like, where did the
Wait,
last
this
five-
Friday?
This Friday, yeah.
What the fuck?
happy
Why did you
birthday.
say?
Thank you.
You don't have it on Facebook.
We
do
should
you?
have
You
started with
fucker.
that.
Oh, wow.
You don't have it on Facebook, do you?
I don't know. Check your Facebook. I don't
I
go on
do.
that thing
You
very
do
often.
not have it on Facebook. You don't have your fucking birthday. That's how I.
So sorry.
I don't know my friend's birthdays if Facebook doesn't
That's
fucking
true.
tell me.
Nobody does.
Yes,
Nobody
thank you.
does. I think the only person
Fucking
that knows
happy
people's birthdays is
birthday.
my grandmother.
I
That's the
should
only
have brought
person
my
that knows
fucking
whose
nice
birthdays are.
whiskey.
Oh, there's always next week.
That's true.
So 100%. Like the last 5 years from my 30s to next Friday, I'm like, fuck, where the hell did that time go? You know?
Yeah.
So again, 3 years from the first moment of us looking at each other, boop, 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 goes off, and she's looking over at me, and we actually had a like, we're not gonna do this, right?
Just like laughing moment.
This isn't a thing.
We're just not gonna. We're
Just silence it for a minute.
You
Who are
want
we
to fuck up
kidding?
your life? Do you want to fuck up? I'm like, nah, I'm good.
I love that you say, do you want to fuck up your life? And then you immediately point at David.
Yeah, you want this guy? I'm pointing a shot at you. You guys want to fuck up your life?
People who have kids, he's like,
Yeah.
do you want to fuck up your life?
Your finger jumped over.
I mean, that's how it
Just
usually
bounced.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in all fairness, guys, I don't really think that kids fuck up your life. I think kids are
Kids can absolutely fuck up your
Well,
life.
and it depends on how you're coming after it, right? Like I've had a wonderful opportunity of armchair psychologying all my friends that have had kids and not have kids, and looking at, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly of kids and all that jazz. I think kids are great. I think kids are horrible. I think they're the whole thing. I think what it comes down, and I get this question often. I had a friend of mine ask me, so why aren't you having any kids? He's a little cholo, little vato. I love this guy. He goes, why are you having kids, huh? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I just, he's like, cause you're selfish. He didn't even let me finish. He just, cause you're selfish. And I was like,
I love those questions.
ooh. Well, and you know what? It's a little startling, right? Cause I'm like,
It made you be real for a second.
it
with
really
yourself.
did. Yeah, because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Is it because I am that like self-centered that I don't want a child? And it kind of fucked me up for a couple months because it was something that I like pondered.
Look, I'm not selfish.
Here's the thing.
Well, and
I
that's-
can have a baby anytime I want.
I'm about to blow
works. I don't give a fuck.
I'm about to blow your mind real quick.
Sure.
And I do believe this is actually a sketch comedy, so I cannot take credit for it.
Yeah.
But it was like basically saying, you know, people call me selfish for not having a kid. Do you not realize having a kid is the most selfish fucking thing?
Well, that
because
was-
you
we
literally
talked
are
about
just
that too.
you're looking at a copy of yourself and going, look at it.
Look what I
it's
did.
It's fucking great.
Look how
it's
smart it is.
handsome.
Look at
it's
what it is.
fun.
No offense, guys.
You
No offense.
selfish fuck.
Child worship is
A big thing.
Here's the problem with
It is
this
a type of
podcast right now.
It is a
We've
type of
talked about kids
narcissism.
way too much. I'm getting really concerned that we're going to get flagged by like
We're gonna get canceled or something.
cancel culture.
No,
Sorry,
ki-
David. Go ahead.
Kids destroy your dreams, and then you have to live through them and make them
make
do all the
them do all
things
the
that they
things.
stopped you from doing.
You literally
really
said
stopped
that.
yourself. You really stopped yourself, but you blame it on the child.
You said that effortlessly. Like there was no hesitation. You were just like, yeah, kids ruin your dreams, and then you have to let them continue their own dreams.
Then you have them take up your dreams that you didn't.
But there's always, I think there's a double side to this conversation. I think it really depends on the type of person that you are, because I have friends that have kids and they're fucking gung ho. They didn't let the kids slow their lifestyle down. Like I have a cousin, she had her first kid. She loves downhill skiing. She travels the world to go skiing, you know, those types of things. And she had her first kid and she was like, oh, my biggest fear is having this kid and not getting to do those things that I absolutely love and bring me joy.
Yeah.
And she had the kid and she's like, you know what? Fuck it. She took the kid to Japan on a ski trip, you know, put her in a, you know, in daycare over there. Like they didn't stop the way that they lived their
respect it.
life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it helps
that
when you get
kid's-
fucking buku bucks. Apparently, she just flies to Japan.
No, I mean they're not that rich. I mean they plan it and they do all the right things. You know what I mean?
exhausting,
Maybe, I guess.
sounds terrible.
I mean, and then I have other friends.
You know what I planned? I planned my fucking car payment this month.
My
That's what I
man,
planned.
Good for you.
Okay.
Pay it
Fucking
off.
winning. Bones it.
I don't plan going to Japan. Who lives like that? People who make more money.
I mean, I did a random trip to Japan for a week and a half.
Yeah.
I did a random
Nobody
trip
cares.
to the
Fuck
bathroom.
You.
So sorry.
Actually, I kind of
Well,
wish
and
I
then,
was there.
so my point is, that, and then I have other friends that just like stopped their life. Like it was like
Right.
Arrested Development right at that moment, where it's just like, well, this is where we're at now.
I think you're right. It definitely depends on the person, but it also depends on what their ambitions are.
Yeah.
I think I started my life when my son was born. Like I was.
That is a beautiful sentiment. Can I just say real quick? I believe that both of you are actually really good fathers, and that's the end of my
You don't know
sentence.
shit about them.
I
you
hope
don't know
I
how they
am.
raise their kids.
All I can
You
do
can
is
eat a
hope that
bag
I
of
am.
dicks.
I'm
and do my
sorry.
best.
I know you guys are.
Here's the thing. I got spanked for some of the dumb shit I did, but I got spanked like 3 times in my life. And here's the thing. No, but that was me as a kid. I learned very quickly.
You get spanked a lot more when you were older.
Kind of. As Gary farts from his mouth. No, I got hurt, I got spanked, and the pain, because I was really a sensitive kid growing up, it really deterred me from ever doing anything.
How old were you the last time you got spanked?
You mean an hour
mean-
ago?
Yeah,
Well, not as an adult.
as an adult. No, I think the last time I got
32.
No, the last time I got spanked, I think it was like 8 or 9. And it was, it was because, my dad, another tangent story going back to my dad, he was a fencer in college. It was like he picked it up as a pastime sport. He just wanted to stay
Awesome
together.
sport.
And a fencer.
Yes.
Awesome sport.
But here's the thing. He went to Indiana University and it was only rec at that time for fencing. And he, once again, a Thanksgiving story. He informed me about all of this. He ended up driving 2 hours south to Kentucky to train with a French fencer. Like he was really talented. My dad, the first year he competed at a like Big Ten, like collegiate level, like they took it from the rec and put him in it. He came in last out of like 13 people. The next year is when he went and trained with this French fencer. The next year he came back, fucking won it. He has a
Nice.
medal at home. There is an article in Sports Illustrated where he's a faces in the crowd. Like this guy who came in last wins it the next year. Like I definitely want to write a script about it at some point in time. I forgot what my story was.
I can see the training montage now.
Oh, absolutely.
But spanking.
But spanking in general.
So that guy had like serious forearm muscles.
Yeah, and he spanked me once, and it was devastating. I think my ass broke. And then my mom did it twice, and the last time it happened, I think I was like 8 or 9. That's what it was. Is that I took out my dad's trophy that he got from college, which was a large sword, but it was a foil, so I had that little piece on it. But I pulled it out, and I like confronted a neighbor who was like talking shit to me as a kid, and I was like, "I'll fucking use this." As I walk out of the house and sit.
So you tried to murder the next door neighbor.
Oh shit!
So you deserve
I
to
had
get
forgotten
fucking
about this memory
smacked,
until
dude.
this moment. But yeah, I pulled a sword
Get
on my
the
fucking
fuck outta
neighbor,
here.
the neighbor kid, and my dad was driving up when it happened, and my mom was in the car, and he wanted to beat the shit out of me.
Oh shit.
But my mom was like, "I'll do it," and so she spanked me for it. But like, I just remember that story makes me laugh. But I think that is missing from nowadays. Like, I definitely think that kids nowadays don't have that because everyone's worried like, oh, you hit your kid. Like, what bullshit was like kids are suing their parents or some garbage like that?
So
I did see an ad. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, David. I did see an ad where a guy's like, "Are you unlawfully being beaten at home?
Yeah.
Call me." And it was basically marketed to children to go to this lawyer and say, "Fuck your parents."
I've known people where they're actually they've been confronted by the police or by the school because they did when we were kids what would be considered a normal spanking. But with my son when he was born, I was just like I had this feeling. I was like, I can't hit him. My dad had this whole procedure that he went through, which was, when your mom says it when your dad comes home, and then you got to wait in the room till he comes home, and then he spends an hour.
Oh, that fear.
Yeah, and then he comes in, he gives you a lecture, then he takes off his belt, tells you how much it's going to be worse for him.
So there's a whole process.
Yeah, and then spanks you, and then afterwards he talks to you again. You get another lecture, and then you got to sit in your room for another hour and think about all the things.
I think about it until it wears off.
And then you go to sleep crying. And that was the procedure.
I love the ending of that. You're sleeping for an hour and then you never sleep.
And then so when my son was born, I was like, I can't do the procedure. I can't do this. I'm gonna psychology the shit out of this kid to try to get around hitting him as little as possible.
I mean, are you not hitting your kid because you're afraid you're going to fuck him up down the line? Because whatever you're doing now is probably going to fuck him up anyway.
Well, I was spanked, but I don't feel traumatized from it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because I think it was used sparingly. It was used in a moment where, like, oh, you made a mistake. It wasn't like, oh, you woke up and looked at me wrong, smack you.
But my mom was a little different. My mom,
Jesus, all right.
moms are a little more. I think moms can get a little more violent.
I guess so, man.
Who are your fucking
but
mothers?
my
mom's
mom-
a saint.
Dude.
My mom would spank us with when she reached a certain like red line. It could be
Yeah, dude.
whatever you were
Yeah.
closest to. She would hit you with it.
Oh, yeah,
So it could be a
100%.
spoon. It could be a
shoe,
stick.
yeah.
It could be a shoe. Exactly.
yep.
It could be a pillow though. Actually. So when
Dude.
she got mad, I learned that when she started getting mad, I would start scooting away from the wooden spoon and towards the pillows.
What planning? Well done, sir.
Premeditation and post meditation.
My brother used to wear multiple underwear just to not feel the whip. My mom used to use an actual horse whip for us. It was like the long.
brutal.
It was.
She
was
used it on
pretty
you,
barbaric,
and
dude.
maybe
It was
somebody else.
probably her husband.
that
Just
touched
saying.
some
I,
adult butts.
I don't
too.
want to. I don't want to think about it, but I'm pretty sure that there's some weird
It's
shit
too late.
going on. You know.
You've thought about it now.
But my brother used
So
to wear
have all of
multiple.
us.
She picked something out from the wall of whips.
She was
wall
like,
of whips.
pick it in the dungeon.
Right
Pick it
next,
from the
right next to
dungeon.
the,
Yeah,
right next to the
my mom was
paddles
doing
and the
50 Shades of
handcuffs.
Grey, I guess. I mean, my thing with my
50
parents
Shades of
was
Nay.
oh my god, my mom was really interesting because she always felt that she had to be the dad and the mom because we didn't really have a dad in the house, and so with me and my brother, she felt that she needed to be heavier handed to my brother and I because we were boys. So we kind of got more of the physicalness.
I mean,
Physical punishment
is that
than
like a-
anything else.
Well, okay, so that's you say you're Hispanic. Is that a common thing to?
I don't know, man. I really don't
Oh,
because
so you don't know your culture. You fuck.
it's not necessarily that. I think, Hispanic women are usually more quick to
Spicy.
to the smack to the hands, like to throw fists, right?
I
But
I was gonna say Sean just had like a trauma moment.
you just drummed up a memory from when I was about, I want to say I was like 15 years old, and my best friend at the time was he was a lot younger. He was like 11, right? That at the time was a huge difference, right?
That
But
is
this kid was the
huge even
biggest
hearing it.
fucking Mexican I've ever seen in my life. He was 6'4"
Jesus.
at 11 years old, and he was built like he was
he in the longest yard?
Fucking
And he was dead at
huge.
14.
Was he in the longest yard with Adam Sandler? Was that guy?
No,
Are sure he wasn't a Samoan?
So this guy gets this fake piercing, right? One of those magnetic ones, right? Puts it on his ear and goes up to his mom, and she's in the kitchen. She's washing dishes, right? And his mom's name was Maclovia. I mean, she is like an old school Hispanic woman.
That sounds like a Russian lady.
Oh my God. Yeah. So we're standing there in the kitchen, and all I understand of Spanish at this time is mami, and he like shows his ear and says something in Spanish at top speed. I don't remember it. All I remember is his mom looking over out of the corner of her eye, her eyes becoming as big as fucking saucers, and she goes, no, and she just fucking goes onto this string of Hispanic expletives
yeah.
that I would never understand if I studied Spanish my
But
whole
you can
life.
get the gist.
But you know what's happening.
Oh, yeah.
And she is just screaming at him. And at one point, she looks over at the sink where there's a frying pan.
Okay.
And he looks over at it, and he's just like, he's frozen in fear, like deer in the headlights. He doesn't know whether to laugh, scream,
Bro,
cry,
you gotta
or
run
run.
at that point. No, you fucking run. If anybody looks at a weapon like that, you're
No,
gone.
because this woman would catch you
quick.
and if you ran, it's only going to make it worse.
No, but you risk it. Don't. No.
Always risk
Mijo.
it.
No.
Yeah.
And so there was this moment of you could see it on his face where he's thinking, "Oh God, I'm going to die." And so he pulls this thing off his ears. He's like, "Mommy, no, look." And she goes, "Oh." And she just goes back to being this sweet lady washing
Yeah,
dishes.
dude, it clicks over so
with your
fast,
mother,
dude.
if you defend yourself against your mother, you could make the whole thing worse.
Oh, so mom is
100%.
not afraid to beat
There's like
ass. You defend from dad,
balance,
he's going to
yeah.
stop and be like, oh, okay, I may be doing something
His
wrong.
dad was a
Dude, I got some
his
weird
dad was a
stories about shit like that.
gentle person because he's just like he knew that if those kids got out of line, his mom would just end them.
I bet they didn't get participation medals,
Just
did they? Or,
end
no,
them.
they probably actually did. They got
No,
online.
no, that was when I was a kid. You know, it was all.
Oh, they didn't have those. Then. That's right.
Yeah, when we were kids,
Forgot your-
we actually got merit for what we did.
Yeah,
you know?
instead of like saying, "Oh, look, you showed up, you get a medal, you fucking
And
loser."
one other time, this is a much shorter story. He mouthed off, and she was sitting in a recliner chair, and said something just to kind of troll her. And I watched her whole leg go from this normal like woman's leg. It literally, no shit, hulked out. I watched every muscle in her leg contort and swell and blow up to this monster, and it just snapped like a fucking like a fucking mousetrap, just wham, and you could feel the shockwave of it hitting him.
That is a fucking broke the sound barrier.
She's fully reclined in feet up in a lazy boy, and she knocked this 6'5", almost 6'6",
Oh, Jesus.
big motherfucker onto his ass.
Oh, my God.
And she was about a 5'5" Mexican woman.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, they have
The power.
They have some tortilla strength.
Oh my God.
The years of making tortillas, bro.
Shucking
Don't
corn
fuck
nonstop,
with
making
Mexican
tamales.
moms,
It makes you
dude.
hard.
Yeah, dude, Mexican moms are crazy. And to my mom's point, I mean, like, we were big kids. Like,
Were?
How tall is she?
She's 5'8", 5'7", give or take. So she's not super tiny in the grand scheme, but my mom always was a little bit more aggressive with my brother and I, you know. But
Who got spanked more, you or your brother?
probably my
That's a
brother
toss-up.
did. No, it was probably my brother. My brother was into some shit though.
See, ran interference sometimes.
Yeah, dude, I'm like, why'd you do that, man? Why'd you piss her off? Because when he pissed her off, then she came to my ass. You know, I'm like, I don't know. Why are you asking me for this stuff? I don't know him. You know, and so. It was really interesting though, because as we got older, my biological dad kind of started finally coming around. So my mom is like an adopted mom, you know, yada yada. We can get into that story a whole nother time. But my biological dad would come around. I was about, I don't know, 17-ish. You know, I was an all-state football player. I held like 3 records for powerlifting at the high school. Like
My man.
you know, like CIF track, you know, and field, blah blah blah. It's like this was my life, right?
What
Like,
were you doing
I
in
was
the
like-
track? You didn't run.
Shot
Get outta
put,
here.
shot put and discus.
Oh, okay, thank
yeah,
you.
shot
was
put and
like, there's no way
discus.
you
Yeah, I won
ran.
CIF my senior and junior year for shot put and discus. So I'm an athlete, you know, quote unquote, in the grand scheme of athleticism. But my bio dad came and he was hanging around or whatever. And my mom and I got into a tiff and she got angry at me. I'm just like, you know, just like every kid does, right? Like, I'm leaving. I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm going to pack my stuff. I'm going to get the hell out of here. My mom literally looks at my bio dad and he goes, well, you just going to let him do that? And my dad felt like he needed to be a dad at that moment. I'm like, motherfucker, you ain't been in my life my
That's a bold
entire
move for your mom to call your dad out. Be like, hey, you just showed up. Be a dad. And it's like,
be a dad. This is your kid. But you know, that's just whatever.
Right.
And my bio dad looks at me. He's just like, you ain't gonna talk to her like that. And he tries to get tough with me. And my dad was already a big dude. My dad was probably about 400-ish pounds. About 6'1". He's a big guy already too. And so he comes up at me and I literally just shove him out of my face. I'm like, get the fuck out of my face. And I shoved his ass and I chucked him across my bedroom and he hits the wall, crashes completely into the wall, puts a hole in the fucking door. Cause I'm livid. I'm frustrated. I'm fucking frustrated.
How
you know,
much
and this
cocaine
so you
did you
shot
do
put
at
it
that
in?
point?
None,
Jesus.
none, dude. I was just
Lies.
so fucking frustrated. And my bio dad's on the ground, just kind of writhing on the floor. And I'm just like, just leave me the fuck alone. You know, I'm all pumped up, full of
Why couldn't you
hormones
say it
and all
before
that
you
too.
fucking
I
threw him through the
did tell
door?
him that, but he wouldn't do it, man.
Why didn't you throw your mother through the door?
Because
that makes more
it's
sense.
my mom. I can't do that to your mom. The interesting part is my mom looked to her husband and goes, did you just see, do something.
do something. And he looked at her and goes,
Seems like each one after you, like henchmen.
He looked at her. He looked at her and then looked at me and goes, "I'm not. Did you not just see what just?"
He's like,
I'm out.
I'm out of this one.
Yeah, I'm out of this
Again.
one. I'm gonna bow out. And I literally just like walked around the block and blah 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 or whatever. But my parents were very interesting. Like the dynamic that was ended up happening when it came to punishment in general was really interesting. The thing that was really difficult for me growing up more than anything is that we would get punished. We would get smacked. Bow. But there was no real reasoning behind why.
Congratulations.
No
you woke up.
explanation.
There was no education of like why you should.
So you just got a flinch reflex.
I did
forever after that.
exactly. When anybody moves quick, I'm always just like a quick like zip. You know what I mean? And so that was the hardest part for me. And I always kind of
The quick zip, is that the hardest part for you?
no, the quick zip is the quickest part for me. The hardest part for me growing up was just realizing like if I'm gonna get in trouble, if I'm gonna get smacked, like why? But my parents didn't like to talk about stuff, so it was just like
that's a very Hispanic thing, right? You don't really
they
talk
don't really
about
talk
feelings.
about anything like
Yeah.
that.
So one thing is a lot of our parents are actually progressions of their parents where
100%.
like my mom in Hawaii, like anybody can punish anybody, but it wasn't just anybody in the family could spank any of the children. It was they could beat you up if they wanted to. And nobody, the parents weren't going to go, "Hey, why'd you beat up my kid?" They'd go, "Oh, he must have deserved it." That's kind of how it went.
Like they Samoans, that's why they beat everybody.
never
up.
happened today ever.
And then on my dad's side of the family, like my dad kowtowed to a bully one time. He ran home rather than fight. So my grandpa beat him up and goes, "Are you more afraid of me or the bully? Because if you ever run from a fight again, you're going to get it worse from me."
Worse from you, yeah.
And that wasn't uncommon. Like in a lot
Well,
of
that's
families.
really interesting to that too.
But my dad
because-
would have never done that.
Dude, that's so weird to me because like growing up being a bigger kid, like in my household and stuff like that, I was always told like, don't. You're stronger. Don't do this. Don't do that. You're bigger. You're blah, blah, blah. You're blah, blah. And it really kind of created a really weird like syndrome for me of like,
You have great power. Take great responsibility.
Uncle Ben.
but more or less that like, I don't like touching people. I don't like, you know what I mean? I don't like I don't like holding a child because I feel like I'm going to
they're
crush
made of
it or
porcelain.
whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't really like jump into things. It really took me a lot of years to kind of work that out of my system. You know what I
I
mean?
can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because of that.
Is that why you're always groping me now?
Nice.
You liked it.
I didn't say I didn't. I'm just asking if that's why.
Duh.
I just figured it was because I was hot butter on a roll. But no, I was, once we found out that we were pregnant, it was like, oh, okay. Like I was ready. I was willing to have a kid at that point. But like once the knowledge came through that it was happening, it was like fear, paralytic fucking fear. And I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I didn't know how I was going to do right by this kid. And I was completely frozen and probably not the best person to have be your partner at that time because of that fear.
Sure.
And then
That's very logical. That's like most people get into the next phase of their life, not really realizing what they're getting into. Like when you start a business, when you have a kid, when you get married, you know, these big steps.
Yeah.
Most people have faced them having no idea what's really going to happen.
Right.
If they knew ahead of time,
They probably wouldn't
if
do
they
it.
had any foresight, they would be paralyzed with fear.
yeah.
Or they wouldn't do it. Right?
Or they wouldn't do it.
They wouldn't do it.
Well, I mean, you can say that about almost anything. You know, the struggles, you know, you pick a career, whatever it may be, or you pick a job. Like, if you knew the struggles, I think there's somebody who quoted that, but it was like, if I knew the hell that I would go through to get where I am, I don't think I would have chosen to do this.
Dude, I think about that all the
Well,
fucking
and that's-
time. I tell my wife that all the time. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, dude, I wish I would have been a psychologist or actually gone to go do something other than a creative endeavor because this life is very difficult.
I'm not gonna lie, I cannot picture you with a fucking pipe and trying to help people. Just like, "Yeah, tell me about your problems."
I'm actually still considering going back to school for psychology.
I mean, you would be amazing at it though, Sean. I think you're such a good listener. You got a way about you that I think would be great for a job like that.
I've always wanted to be a high school counselor.
So when are you two getting married?
He's probably, we are already in a relationship.
Yeah.
Just
All right.
to
Might
let
as,
you know
might
that.
as well have already started.
Thank you.
But yeah, no, it was when my son was actually born and like I saw him for the first time. That's when my brain
something
like suddenly
clicks.
like understood. I'm like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
My whole existence is to make sure I do the best I can by this kid.
Yeah.
All of my friends have said the same thing who've had kids is like all the guys anyways. Like, you know, I think the saying is like a woman
You're
knows
never
she's
ready.
a mother when she's pregnant, like when she finds out, it's like that maternal instinct just automatically
Starts,
happens.
Yeah, and I mean,
as a
it's not-
guy, it's like when you see the baby, you're like, oh, this is real.
Yeah.
That's mine.
Ideally. Yeah.
Hopefully, you're like,
What the hell is that thing? Put it back in. It needs to bake for a little bit longer.
like
Statistically,
my
you know.
cousin.
Oh my God. I remember when my son was actually like in the process of coming into the world. And
Crowning?
I didn't know.
Nice.
I mean, I had seen babies be born, but I was a lot younger at that time when my siblings were being born because we were all born at home.
Yeah.
And my boy's coming out, and I'm looking at the top of his head, and I didn't understand what happens when that happened. And so his skull is sectional at that time, and it looked like this weird, lumpy, misshapen boulder happening. And I just immediately thought to myself, I'm like, oh, it's broken. Like, can
we take this back, please?
And I just, but you know, I just made the decision right then. I'm like, okay, it's cool. Gonna love him anyways, no matter what.
That's awesome.
You know, and
I
then
don't
like,
care if you're
and then his-
Quasimodo. I'm gonna love
no,
you
I'm like,
anyway.
nope, I got this. Doesn't matter. He's beautiful to me, no matter what he looks like.
Atta
Comes
boy.
out, head comes out like and pops into shape. And I'm like, yes, he's pretty.
I'm sorry. Did it make that fucking noise when I did that?
No,
I was like, I got really scared. I was like, wait, does the baby skull go like when it pops out?
in my brain, yes.
I would fucking pass out from just like fear.
Oh god, that's why the dads pass out. That's
Yeah, we just
literally what
can't
ends
do
up
it.
happening.
Yeah, no, but like, you know, his head like clicked into place, and I was like, oh, okay, so that's a thing babies do then, I guess. And
David, can you confirm?
My son was a C-section.
So you just watch your
It was
wife's
a little,
guts over here.
different. Yeah, pretty much.
man.
Yeah.
Pull down
Oh,
the
wait,
baby and
you
put the
watch
guts
that? Like,
back
is it
in.
savage?
From
to,
an
like, see
angle,
it?
I
you better,
wasn't.
because if you don't, they will murder you.
Wait, who? The wife?
Watch
Yeah.
me get gutted, honey.
Oh, she's. You know what? For whatever reason, my dumb fucking brain. This is going back to when before the podcast we were talking about like how sometimes I'm really fucking stupid.
You are blonde.
I'm strawberry blonde. For whatever reason, my brain thought that when a C-section happens, they're not conscious.
Oh, they're fully.
And then I
yeah.
remembered, like, oh yeah, they're giving birth. They have to be awake. And
Yeah.
I just felt really fucking stupid. Anyway, here we go.
But yeah, so I think one of the best parts about the birth, though, was the like hours-long labor leading up to it. And my son's mother was screaming, tossing, turning, freaking out. And her mom was in the room. And her mom and I mean, we got along.
We exist.
But whether or not we really liked each other, I think has always been kind of a
Suspect.
It's a thing we didn't really talk about.
Okay, okay.
But I just remember this moment, and for some reason she hears this podcast. I'm laughing.
Stalker.
I'm laughing at it. I always did, and you know, whatever. But I just remember her mom leaning over and go, "Okay, honey, just hold my hand, just squeeze my hand," and like she just goes. Like rears up and like just puts her in a headlock and like slams her face against the side of the hospital bed and like chokes her mom and like her face is turning
is some
beet red.
Is there a
Shit
moment
right
that you
there.
were sitting over there being like, "Glass not me"?
I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, do I help or
There's like a.
just kind of
the
savor,
doctors here.
just kind of savor the moment? You know?
And you're like, who do you cheer for?
There's like
Myself
oh,
at that moment. I'm like, I'm over here.
You literally give yourself a 5. You're like, "All right, Sean."
I'm with him.
I did my job.
boy.
I survived this day.
Yeah.
But no, it was when my son came out, I was a different kind of frozen. I was completely mystified by this thing that had happened. And I'm sitting there, he's out, he's crying. They're having me like cut the umbilical cord. I'm just staring unblinkingly like, I did a thing. Well, I mean, like I barely did anything.
I was
But,
gonna
like,
say,
you know,
what?
You did a
like,
thing
like
for
we
10
made
seconds.
this.
You
we made-
contributed to the thing.
We made this thing, this baby, this little boy. This is my entire universe right now, and it's all rushing in, and it was like tunnel vision and white noise, and then all I hear is his mother going, "Take pictures," and I'm like, "Oh god!" And then like, oh,
nightmare fuel.
Doesn't even
snap
give
back
you
to reality, and I
yeah.
grab the camera, and I'm like, "I'm doing it! I'm doing it!"
Yeah, you're not thinking of pictures. You know you have to take pictures, but that's not what you're thinking about.
No, not
I mean,
at all.
did you have that same feeling though when your little boy came out and you know after
Yeah,
your wife was gutted?
It was, yeah. There was a lot of red, but
Oh yeah,
but
It's
it
fine.
was,
She's an ex-wife now. It's not a big deal.
it was strangely like traumatic in a good way, I guess.
Yeah.
But it does expand your whole world. It is like a trip where it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm secondary to me now. But,
That's an interesting way to think of it. That's actually
yeah,
really cool.
yeah. You,
that's
you
trip,
literally
right?
become
That's
about a
super
different thing.
trip.
And then my ex-wife, she went to sleep right after. She was just tired. She's on drugs and what, the epidural and stuff.
Yeah.
So she took like a 2-hour nap when my son was born. And I was just wandering.
left there?
I was just wandering the halls of the
Be like, what the fuck do I do now?
Yeah, I just
How do I get out of
I
this?
just was holding this baby, going, "What do I do? I don't have boobs to feed it."
You kind of feel helpless.
You're like,
Yeah,
yeah.
massaging the head. Like, do I form the skull now? Like, what do I
No,
do?
it does that on its own.
I know it does it on its own.
I figured that out. I'm here for you.
Please don't make that noise. I'll pass out.
I had a younger cousin when we first got to see her in the hospital. Her head was like cone shaped,
Oh my God.
and she was all furry.
What
And
is
I was
happening?
like, oh, I guess we have like a really furry.
So basically, you
Conehead
give to,
cousin
to
now.
Lucy,
Gizmo.
to Lucy,
No, Gizmo.
the
from
original Homo sapien.
But like in a few days, the hair came off and the head went to.
I'm
normal
sorry.
shape. And I was like,
you mean hair on her head?
no, well, some
bodies.
nationalities, the whole body is furry when
What?
the baby is born.
That's an animal. What are you
Yeah.
talking about? That's like a cheetah or something, right?
I don't know.
Some nationalities like pit bull,
Dachshund.
Boston Terriers.
Oh my God.
Orangutan. Just saying, is that too far? I don't know.
No, it's
so
close
sorry.
enough.
I'm 3 deep. So it's all good. You know. All right, guys. Let's take a break on that one. Hey. You know what, guys? I'm drunk, I think.
You coward.
I'm not a coward. I just had, you know what, Matt, you're going to make fun of me because
Shocking.
I'm a little
what's the
tipsy
percentage?
on hard seltzers. These are delicious,
good,
by the
yeah.
way.
I can buy you some tampons after this.
I mean, you know what? They're good for bloody noses
and your pussy.
and my pussy. Runny butt, bloody noses, leaky eyes.
Let's get aggressive real quick.
Fluids.
You should see a doctor.
I mean, I know. I
Like,
know.
you might need treatment.
These are delicious, though. I went to a place for breakfast this last weekend, and they literally had White Claw on tap.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. And I text message my buddy. I'm like, bro, they have this on tap. And he sends a basic bitch gif.
Basic bitch twit.
A
Nice.
basic bitch gif of her just like sprinting out the door.
Nice.
So
I was
is White
dying.
Claw here to stay? Is that
Oh,
like
yeah.
is
It's
that's
for-
going to be
I
I think
the
it's,
new
it's
Corona?
survived its infancy.
So
It's going to be
sure.
fine.
Hold on, real talk though. Did White Claw make it to Indy?
Yeah.
Is it all the way over there too?
Yeah,
now?
no, definitely.
Everybody's drinking it over there. I don't know.
Why
You know
the
what? I
fuck
grew up
wouldn't?
here. I grew up here in Orange County. I've lived here for a really long time. I've only lived outside of Orange County for a very small amount of time. And then I said, this is horrible. I'm going to go back to my bubble. And I realized that I very much live in a bubble. And my thought is
We're behind
why-
the orange curtain.
100%, right? Like my thought becomes, are we the only ones drinking this shit? Are we the only ones, basic bitching it to White Claws and Trulies and shit?
It's big in
I mean-
Florida too.
You know, the thing is all these other nations,
fucking people.
all these
That
other
and
nations,
crocodile. That's what's dope in Florida.
everybody's sitting here going, wow, Americans are so fat. They're so fat. Oh my God, Americans are so fat. And then we're like, fine, we'll fucking drink lightweight shit then. Fine.
All right. Well, I guess we're getting the Michelob.
Fucking seltzer it is.
Whatever. The
I
irony
guess we'll
though
go
is
ahead. And we are.
alcohol
I mean,
is still
except for
9
Matt and
calories
David.
per whatever. It's not.
What are you watching calories for?
I don't. That's the truth.
Wrong.
I don't watch calories.
No, you shouldn't.
Yeah, ever.
Oh my
But alcohol has a lot of calories in it, regardless whether what.
Carbs.
Yeah.
Get rid of carbs. Carbs kill you.
And I love beer.
Life kills you. What?
Carbs do it
That's
faster.
actually a really good point, though. Life does
Everything good,
slowly-
everything good
actually,
causes cancer.
even though I said it earlier, that's a philosophy of Stoicism, is that they very much want to embrace the idea that's memento mori is basically like, you're going to die. Think about that. Don't fear it. Just realize you're going to die and then appreciate. It's not about being scared of like dying or that inevitability because it's going to come regardless. So if you embrace it and learn to understand that it will be here, you may not know when it'll happen. And that's okay because you will, like, the knowledge of it kind of frees you from it.
Bro, I hate you so much right now.
I don't care.
Because that just thinking about it just makes me so goddamn anxious.
You're going to die. It's okay. Everything.
Whoa, buddy. Hey, get your hand out of your pants.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm going to die. So, fuck it.
All things.
You're not going to
end,
die in
Gary,
5
even
minutes, I
us.
hope.
I hope, yeah.
All things end.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Knock on wood, dude. It's interesting. My wife goes around when people's birthdays, she asks, well, it actually started from my mother-in-law. She asked this birthday question. Now that you've been alive, as long as you've been alive, what's the most important thing that you've learned or that you know thus far? And it's a weird question when you're like, it's your birthday and you're having a good time with people and then, you're already drunk or whatever. And You know,
you?
yeah, basically. Yeah. And she asked this question. It's a very like personal thing that most people
Sobering
aren't
and
just
stoic.
thought provoking, right? She asked me this when I was 16, right? My first birthday that I had when I was dating my now wife, and she goes, Gary, now's about like, what's the most thing far? And I go,
She really talked like the teacher from
Peanuts. I sat there and I looked at her dead in the eye, and I was like, I got this.
Oh God, this is gonna be good.
Don't put Twinkies on your pizza.
Oh, that's good. That's good advice.
Don't do that. Don't do. And she looked at me, and
And that's still the best lesson.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I'm 35 years in, bro, and that's still the
But you have to do it every once in a while to remind yourself.
100%, right? And like, well,
I don't think I do.
maybe. I just never really felt how bad my gut felt after that moment. You know what I'm saying? Don't put Twinkies on your pizza.
Why is that even a fucking sentence? Are you shitting me?
Come on now, Matt. You know goddamn what you're looking at across the table.
Yeah, I know.
I like
I'm
trying
looking at.
things.
You like trying things, but there's also, I know you have common sense. I fucking know you do.
Yeah, my common sense said, I like savory.
That's not.
And I like
no,
sweet. What do I got in front of me? Twinkies and pizza.
You're the worst.
Let's do it.
Do you guys do fries and Frosties or fries and ice cream?
I don't ever go to Wendy's because they suck.
Other places serve French fries and ice cream.
Not as good as fucking Wendy's. That Frosty is delicious. That's the only thing I never go there for.
Yeah, that's
And does French fry flavored ice cream exist
I'm sure it does. I mean, they
in
got
Florida?
they got popcorn flavored jelly beans. I'm sure they got ice cream flavored fucking
those.
or fries ice cream flavored.
I cannot stand those everything flavored jelly beans.
No, I can't.
Fucking the worst thing on earth is
First world problems.
bacon flavored
Anything? Yeah, I'm the same way with
except
banana.
for
So
bacon.
I have to leave now. All right. You fucking assholes.
You like bacon flavored stuff? You
I
like
love
artificial-
bacon.
Why?
No.
I love bacon too.
I said except for bacon. If it's not bacon, if it's imitation bacon, no. Except for
like crush
Turkey
bacon
bacon's
into a
nice.
powder and then fucking bay it.
except for those fucking
Bay it,
bacon,
bro.
Bacon bits.
the bacon bits, which are actually just like sodium.
I used to eat that
just
shit
like
regularly.
salt crystals.
It's basically just bacon flavored salt.
Fucking sodium
crystals.
regularly. That's what that was called. All right, you hoes, you ready? Oh, we're recording?
We've been recording the
Holy
whole
shit.
time. Welcome back. Welcome
I am
back.
in it.
Welcome back.
Welcome to the show.
My bad.
I would like to say that this is my now favorite part of the podcast.
I was looking at my phone.
I only
just
wish
checking
we're
up on
here.
shit. I got an email from the executive at Sony. So I
Only
was
wish
like,
we had.
Oh, what did this Sony executive say?
my
Just
God.
read it on air.
no, you read it on air.
Yeah.
He's a very nice gentleman.
a wonderful time. Thank you so much for coming down to LA.
First off, Sony is closed. It was a Zoom call, which is even better.
Even better.
But no, he just said it was great meeting you as well. I look forward to reading the scripts because I had sent him the 2 pilots to he's going to send over to the development team. So, and his title is head of scripted programming. So that's kind of boner.
That's kind of a
inducing.
boner.
Yes, it's thank you.
Honorific.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ooh, it's very nice.
Huzzah.
It feels very good. It was a very good conversation.
Moving,
I hope
moving
the
on
trend
up.
continues.
Making power moves
I'm proud of you, man.
when I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
Jesus,
Welcome
I really
back.
didn't realize
I
how long.
so
How
wish-
long were we recording?
Almost the
Least
entire
8
time.
minutes.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
That's 8 minutes of my life. I don't know what happened.
We should have gotten him.
warp.
Have you ever had that happen, by the way, when you're like driving and you
yes.
just zone out and then you come to and you're like, where the fuck am I?
How did I get home?
100%.
Like, you're just like, I don't know how I navigated traffic to get to this point. Like, it's a very concerning thing.
I call it time traveling.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm just like, I was here.
So
and
original.
now I'm there.
I did it one time on a
I don't
motorcycle.
remember in between.
What?
Yeah, it was bad. Like I remember getting on the bike, leaving, and then arriving. It wasn't a very long. It was like from the airport. It was like John Wayne to my house, so it was like a 5-minute ride.
Yeah.
Don't remember it. Wasn't like, wasn't drunk or anything like that. Just got on the bike, ripped around the fucking freeway at way too high a speed. Got home, went. I don't actually remember the drive.
That's how I got. How drunk were you?
Fucking weird feeling.
No,
By the way, speaking of being drunk, sorry, go ahead.
No, it was just one of those moments. For some reason, just brain thought this isn't an important thing to record. It's gone, and it scared the
Brain's like, no, we don't
crap
need this.
out of me.
Yeah, it's a very
because that means-
early onset dementia.
That means my mind was so distracted with other thoughts that were apparently more important than fearing for my life, which you should always do on a motorcycle, no matter how much experience you have.
Do you remember what you were thinking about?
Yeah,
Jesus.
No, it wasn't even that important.
My favorite thing right now is David just grinning over in the corner.
He's like, I do
Cheshire
this
cat
on
over here. Like,
daily.
it's like, this is basically what
"Look,
happens
guys,
since
I'm level 10.
I didn't know this happened to other people, but I didn't admit this. And then if I'm like, oh yeah, I've shuffled around stuff in my car looking for stuff while I'm driving.
That's the weirdest too.
And then like 3 lights later, I'm like, did I even look up? I don't remember looking.
You
up.
question if you
have.
ran a red light. You're like, oh, did I do? But here's my thing: is that I'm very narcissistic, a little bit, where that happens, and I'm like, how did I get here? And then my brain's like, because you're fucking talented. You don't even need to look at the road to know where you're going. And I'm like, yes, good job, brain, good recovery.
Because
Let's keep
you're
going.
awesome. You don't even
awesome,
need
bro.
to pay attention.
It's
You
not
can take a
even-
nap.
It's not healthy at all. I'm shocked I haven't died like 100 times in my life.
I had a moment where I did take a nap while driving. I used to work a graveyard shift. And I drove a big 909 lifted truck, like V8, Bromobile. And I'm driving home and it's almost dawn and I am completely falling asleep at the wheel on the 405. And I'm actually passing by a place where I've had my first and only major accident in my whole life, back when I was very young. And I'm kind of like dozing off. And there's just this moment because of these big knobby tires on the truck. And I'm thinking, oh God, I'm just trying to get home. And then I fell asleep. And so I'm going down the road, completely asleep at freeway speeds. And something in my brain goes, you need to swerve. You need to swerve. You swerve now. And
Brain's like, do it.
And my arms just did a thing.
Oh, shit.
What a great way to describe saving your own life. They
Yeah,
did a
and
thing.
he did a thing.
So my
It
arms
almost sounds
just,
like he's upset by it. Like,
Thank
they
you,
did
my
that.
arms
Subconscious.
just swing the wheel to the left. And my eyes woke up after I was already in the turn because the rest of my body's like, whoa, what are we doing? And there's this big 6 foot wide concrete support pillar that holds up the overpass at the Brookhurst off ramp. And it was right in front of my truck. And I was going around it by feet. Whoa. Not yards, feet. I have no idea how I didn't roll the truck. Instinctively, my body just did its thing. I corrected it. I was in the lane. And by the time I was actually fully lucid, I was just traveling straight down the road and as awake as if I had just had so much meth because I was as awake as I could be after that with adrenaline. I'm just like, okay, I'm not tired anymore.
I'm good.
And my subconscious mind, while my eyes were closed, knew I had to do this thing. Which thank fuck for that.
That is scary as fuck.
One of the
Lucid
single
driving.
scariest things in my life.
Would you guys do self-driving cars? Would you
Yes.
relax and just do whatever you wanted?
I don't know that I
Or
would
you-
relax, but I would sit back and watch.
Would you read a book?
No, I might listen to one. I might stare out the window a little bit, but I would always somehow be ready to just grab the wheel.
I would actually be doing a lot of other things in a self-driving
would.
car. I 100%. I would probably for the first year until I was really comfortable and I trusted the technology and made sure Elon Musk updated the car appropriately.
Right.
I would be very hesitant, but after that first year without any issues, I'd be like, fuck it. Honey, you want to fuck?
I think.
Well, this thing takes
You want to
us-
do that?
You
So
want
they
it?
already
think
did that.
this
So
is-
they,
yeah.
there was some, I think it was a porn star couple or something, but they had one of those self-driving cars and they got caught just banging.
Just banging?
Yeah, as the car was driving. That is the dumbest way to die, by the way.
Hashtag goals.
Hashtag goals.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
like that fucking plastic surgeon who drove his Jeep off a cliff because he was trying to take a selfie.
Oh.
Why would you want to die
But it wasn't
like
a
that?
self-driving Jeep, though.
Or that one that.
That's just stupidity.
But then
that
you're
was
relying
trying
on
to
a car
text.
not to kill you. It's a fucking cold thing. It just doesn't care. You're talking about texting, sorry.
Oh, the plastic surgeon who drove
Yeah,
his
yeah.
car off a cliff because he was trying to send a text, and then he woke up in some monastery and was taught magic. Or that's Doctor Strange. Never mind.
He wasn't even texting.
I know
Shit,
I
he
had a
was
sound
texting.
effect, but
God
fuck
damn
you.
it.
He was texting and driving, ladies and
was.
gentlemen.
Well, he's on the
Don't
phone,
do it,
and then he was
because
like, "Text
you
me the
might wake up
information."
as an Avenger.
He's like, I remember this guy from this thing.
Then he had this cape with a
got it.
personality.
I remember.
I mean, don't text and drive because you might wake up with powers.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you're
Yeah.
gonna give up,
If you're gonna
your
give up-
virginity,
Sell
you might
it.
as well sell it.
Oh my God. Because that's actually a
eBay.
real thing, which is super sad.
That's what I'm saying. You sell it to some Saudi guy
No,
for
that's
$1 million
a thing.
and sets you up for
Gary
life.
gives me shit for trying to market everything.
Right.
Listen, young girls who are listening to this podcast.
fuck.
No, too much? Is that
No,
too far?
no,
Am I gonna
honestly-
get canceled now? Is this
honestly,
what's going to end up happening?
dude,
Jesus
Probably.
Christ.
As far as I'm concerned, As long as it's legal and nobody's getting hurt.
Thank you.
Do what you want.
100%.
And if I could make money out of selling any part of my body without
would
actually
do it in a
cutting it off
heartbeat.
and selling it, but
100%.
yeah, if I found somebody who wanted to pay me money to look at all this or touch any part of it and it's a decent enough amount of money, I absolutely would in a heartbeat.
What's a decent amount of money to look at you,
Oh
Sean?
boy, we're doing these games now.
I'm just curious.
To look at me?
What do you pay, dude?
How much is worth it to you, Sean? $10?
See, the problem with it is if I answer this, you might start reaching for your wallet.
No, I have cash, so please.
Did you say no? I have cash.
I don't know, make me an offer if I feel comfortable with it. I'll say yes.
I mean, but are you guys worried about
Mr. Washington?
you son of a bitch? I was in the middle of a sentence. Are like having a son, obviously there's that component of like, okay, they are needed to make a baby. Obviously woman is too, but like without the guy, it's not going to happen. But like, are you guys concerned about any like lapse in judgment? Like how, like that shit, this
I don't
is
understand the question.
Like one of my fears is that I won't be able to properly convey what to do. And I mean, obviously there's like that gray area, but like, what if they, fuck up and they have a kid at like 16? Like,
Yeah, what is
isn't that
there to
shit
do?
just terrifying?
You give them two fucking options. You either say, do you want to keep this goddamn thing or do you want to go to Planned Parenthood?
Well, there's also, you can like give it up for adoption.
Or you can give it up to adoption.
Thank you.
Three
There's
things.
three
Sorry.
things. So,
there you go.
Choice, fucker.
There it is. Done.
Like, does that not for you two? No?
I think that I approach parenting from a place of, I've always let my, how do I put this? I've always let my son kind of make his own choices. Mm-hmm. And I try my best to guide him when I can. And I trust that his mom and his stepdad do the same thing. And so far, so good. I mean, he's always made good choices. He's been very self-regulating a lot of the time. If he has a rule, he follows it, even if he's not being low. Like,
Could you beat
even
up
if
the
he
stepdad? That's a yes. No, there's a pause and a smile. Motherfucker.
Listen, Craig.
Don't
listen to this, Craig.
I'm gonna say this.
Why is it Craig? I just feel like Craig's a good stepdad fucked up name.
I've known the guy for a long, long time. We used to be very, very good friends.
Oh boy.
And
That's a story for another time, kids.
obviously that changed.
Yep.
How I Met Your Mother.
Which I think both of us kind of regret, but I would say that the years have definitely treated him better than they've treated me. So maybe at one time, but who knows? We're both a lot older now. We don't really.
But he doesn't have dad strength. I feel like you have dad strength. Does that? By the way, is that a true thing? Like when you have a baby, you automatically just have this upgrade in terms of strength, where you're just like,
holding
I
like
will
a 20-pound thing for multiple
destroy.
hours.
I think
day,
for
I would
mothers
assume.
there is, but there actually is a such thing as old man strength.
There's two things that you get as a father if you like slip into that role. You naturally develop this. It's the first one is the thundering voice of dad, which is that voice that no matter who you are or what age you are in life, if you hear that tone come from any human being, you still flinch.
Yeah.
You still go, oh shit, what did I do?
No, that's
I didn't have a dad that I've never heard it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've never had a dad to actually give me that voice.
I'll be your daddy.
Give him the voice.
Give me
Fucking
the voice,
beat me
boy.
to it.
Give me that voice, bitch.
The other thing that you develop is the hand of dad. The hand of dad is that hand that can reach into the back seat of the car
And get gum.
grab your ass, flip you around, swat your butt, put your ass back down in the fucking chair, grab the seatbelt and buckle it, all without taking the other hand off the wheel or your eyes off
What
the
are you,
road.
Mr. Fantastic? How long is your fucking arm?
I had a grandma.
It's just
that
a
did
thing.
that.
Nobody understands how it works. It's just like space bends around your body, and all of a sudden you're doing these things.
Wait, did grandma throw a shoe? Was that a thing? Is that a
Yes.
thing? Like, is that a Hispanic thing for real? Like,
Very
taking
much
up
so.
the shoe
My
and
grandmother
fucking curling it?
threw. My grandmother threw. They called chunkless. My grandmother threw chunkless, and my grandmother threw wooden spoons because she was always in the kitchen.
She's awesome.
She did that for sure.
Would you concur, though, David?
Yeah, and I'm hoping. My son's only 8, so I have a few more years to think about it.
I heard the fear in your voice just now.
There was a relief when I found out I was having a son. I have to be honest.
Nice.
It would be fun. It would be great to have a daughter, but there was a relief, a certain type of relief in having a boy.
Yeah, because you don't have to worry about like creepy fucking dudes like
But
doing all that.
I'm hoping that he's into something enough to prioritize his life properly. To like,
Like a passion?
maybe look forward to a passion.
Nice.
Or looking forward to college, or I don't know.
Don't do it.
Or a little bit of foresight. I have no idea. But there's no guarantees. They just are going to do stuff, and you just do your best.
That it literally just conjured up an image in my head of like, there's no guarantee they'll do anything, and just a child sitting in the
Just
basement
a
at
fucking
40 being like,
kid.
"No, I'm good."
Just
Doing nothing.
Hey, so when are you gonna go ahead and
Die?
I don't know, get a
Yeah, they'll be like, "Hey, when are you gonna get a job?" You're like, "I don't know. When are you gonna fucking die so you can just give me the rest of your money?" Like that.
That's I feel like what kids are doing now. They're just like, why do I got to go get a job and all that stuff? Because you did all the work for me. I'm just gonna wait for you to die and then inherit it all.
When kids are
I don't know that I
kids
would
are
agree with that.
random. Like my son,
so
he's
either. I'm
he's
just joking.
smart. He asks like existential questions sometimes. So I'm like, okay, there's something going on in there. But other times they do stuff and you're like, why did you do that? What the heck? What was the process
give
of
an example
thinking?
real quick,
And
just
they
so
just
we
say,
can-
and you ask them why, and they go, I don't know.
I don't know. That's like the only.
But, and then I have to remember that I did that to my dad a lot. I saw that look of disappointment in my dad sometimes, and he goes, "Why did you do that?" And I go, "I have no idea why I knocked over the vase for no reason. I just saw a vase and I wanted to knock it over."
house
Cats, yeah, I was about to say cats don't know either. They just go like this thing.
They just stare at you and go,
I didn't know if it was gonna bounce or shatter.
Like there's some
I didn't know.
hilarious memes that's like, it just says like, "Brain, do it," and you're like, "Why?" And it just says, "Do it." And like they'll have a variety of pictures. One of them is like, it has a remote control on the backside and you just slide the cover off and slide it back on. Like, that's,
God.
that's one of the things you're like, Brain's just like, "Do it." And you're like, "Okay." I love it. And that happens all the time. I find myself doing really dumb shit like that. Like, just do it. And my brain's like, just do it. And like,
No,
I
you
couldn't
want to.
imagine as a child having that desire of like, "Oh, that looks."
Now imagine
Interesting.
that, and you give that child access to millions and billions of people across the world via the
Oh,
internet.
Jesus.
That's
Yeah, right.
where
Look at
these-
that full circle, boys.
That's where that shit
Boys,
comes from.
We fucking,
Right there.
that's impressive. We're really good at that full circle stuff.
Holy shit, guys. We talked a lot about stuff today.
I enjoyed
talked
it.
a lot of stuff today.
was good
I
stuff.
really enjoyed it.
Likewise.
This feels good, guys. Thank you guys for being here.
It's been awesome.
I'm really grateful for all of you guys. I'm really grateful for all you listeners out there, guys. I think that's going to be our show for the evening. Go ahead and like, subscribe, do all the things that you guys got to do. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. If you guys want to check us out, it is Chill Regular. And we love you. We out.
Adios.
Like,
Try not to die. Be good, farewell, and have a wonderful trip. Try not to let your pretty little heart skip. Be strong. Keep your head up high. Try not to fall into an awful style on your first try. I'll see you next time you decide to come visit me in the zoo.